Decades ago, a malevolent and mysterious fraternal society rose to prominence in the artist quarters of Casterheg. This order, the Fraternitatem Aeternum, was a dangerous mixture of esoteric college, secret society, and pyramid scheme. Whispered rumors told of profane rites performed within the walls of the group's compound, and locals spoke of a strange ruddy glow seen in the building's high windows and of the guttural, inhuman cries heard from behind its walls. While it existed, local streets remained abuzz with the news that powerful adepts within the order had infernal powers at their disposal, and that they would eventually emerge from their lodge and become a major new power in the Blight's social hierarchies. But then, nearly as quickly as it had begun, the strangeness grew silent, and the entrance to the fraternal lodge opened no more. Known members of the order were no longer seen in the city streets, sauntering confidently as they had in their heavy robes embroidered with the order's mystic sigils. The curious dared not breach the lodge's door, and even the watch refused to investigate. And as is the way of the Blight, the disturbance was soon forgotten, swallowed by the din of the city's other intrigues. But the memory was not erased for all. There were survivors. The order had indeed been in the thrall of infernal powers. Led by a powerful occultist, the fraternity used profane rituals to open rifts between worlds, gating in powerful demonic patrons to curry favor for the order's members. But many within its ranks were too concerned with glitz, glamour, and promises, and lacked experience bartering in such profanities. Mere months after the establishment of the Fraternitatem Aeternum, a climactic ritual meant to secure the imprisonment and patronage of a terrible general of Jubilex's army, the great ooze demon Darmathon failed terribly. Nearly the entirety of the Order's membership was sucked into the Abyssal Rift, where their bodies and souls became a feast for fiends. All but 2 young acolytes were condemned to the Abyss that day, and it is fortunate that the Order entrusted their acolytes with protective measures against such a mishap. Talismanic nails that could seal a rift for as long as they stayed in place. Pursued by demonic entities, the young acolytes Crux and Kalman managed to hammer the magical nails into each of the lodge's 4 corners and snapped the rift shut, trapping Darmathon between worlds in a half-summoned state. The experience drove the acolytes to obsession. Crux fled into the Blight's occult underworld, gathering items of protection meant to ward off the demonic entities he was convinced were after him. His rival Kalman thus became the inheritor of the Order's property, and used his newfound wealth to confront his demons in the lodge itself. Months passed, and the diabolic graffiti that came to cover the building's facade soon took on a new form, as wood and wire frameworks and buckets of plaster transformed the building into a strange new incarnation. A theater and spook show devoted to the twisted and the macabre, the Theater Infernalis. Having faced and overcome his fears, Kalman had brought his demons to mechanical life. All that transpired before became the heel of an indecent spectacle in which those who entered to sate their curiosity were subjected to all manner of smoke and mirror haunts and demonic automatons, overseen by a curiously obsessed host. For decades now, Kalman has been warden to the sealed rift, and patrons sent fleeing into the streets by his demonic spook show have little idea of the true terror that remains confined inside its 4 walls. Over Kalman's lifetime, the Theater Infernalis has passed from a popular venue among the swaggering bourgeoisie of Casterheg into a stale relic. Its displays and traps are worn and threadbare, and the rite of passage that was once its main attraction is now little more than a campy, nostalgic romp for bored visitors to the artist's quarter. Age and consumption have overtaken its proprietor, and as Kalman's final days draw near, so too, it seems, do those of the Theater Infernalis. Its fate unknown, patrons old and new flock once more to the spook show for one last thrill. Unbeknownst to the elderly occultist and his customers, however, his old rival Crux has anticipated this day and waits in the wings to ensure that the theater's proprietorship falls to the last surviving heir of the Fraternitatem Aeternum. Threatened by the impending closure, Crux has taken drastic steps to ensure that the Order's surviving secrets and artifacts finally become his, steps which may unleash a powerful demon into Casterheg streets if left unchecked. Your choices will define how this story ends. May the rolls be ever in your favor.